You're about to discover the only dog training principle that can keep your dog from tearing up your stuff, eliminate potty training accidents almost immediately, and even keep your dog calm and happy in the crate. Imagine this scenario. What if you could leave your dog home alone whenever you wanted without worrying about coming home to a disaster? What if your dog suddenly started signaling you every time he needs out so you never have to worry about another accident on your lovely floor? And what if instead of acting crazy in the crate, your dog suddenly calmed down and started waiting patiently for you to release him? And what if you could do all of this in a fun way that actually strengthens the bond with your new puppy? Sound like a stretch? I used to think so too, until I discovered what I'm about to share in this video. In the past few years, I've went from knowing absolutely nothing about dog training and struggling to even get my dog to obey basic commands like sit and stay, to starting a highly successful dog training business where I teach dogs to perform service-like commands for their owners. And I've also used the exact same thing I'm about to show you to help thousands of new dog owners crate train, potty train, and teach their dogs basic obedience so they can have the well-behaved dog they truly desire. The thing that got me here is called the strategic reward system, and I've used the strategic reward system to train large dogs like mastiffs and greyhounds. I've used it to train small dogs like terriers and pugs. I've used it to train hyper dogs that have a hard time listening. I've used it to train lazy dogs that would rather lay around than listen to your commands, and I've even used it to train mildly abused shelter dogs that are very sensitive. Here's the deal. Everybody knows that reward-based training works if you do it right. And in order to do it right, you need to follow a proven formula. In fact, if you're training now and you're not getting the results you want, it probably has nothing to do with the kind of dog you have, and it has nothing to do with the personality your dog has, or what's happened to your dog in the past. Because at the end of the day, it's not about your dog or what's happened to him, it's all about how you're rewarding him. And there's a formula for rewarding him the right way. Here it is. Step number 1, ignore or redirect bad behavior. Now, obviously when you bring a new dog home, he doesn't yet know the rules of the house, so it's completely natural for him to act like a dog, and that means he's going to have some unacceptable behaviors. And instead of taking the punishment approach to correct these behaviors, which can actually harm your dog, especially if you've got a sensitive dog, you should ignore or redirect these behaviors. Here's how you do it. If your dog's doing something that's kind of annoying, but he isn't really causing any harm, simply ignore that behavior. And that means no touch, no talk, and no eye contact. Now, if your dog's doing something that's completely unacceptable, instead of yelling, scolding, or punishing your dog, simply redirect him to a behavior that is acceptable. Say maybe your dog's chewing on something he shouldn't. Simply take that item and replace it with something that is acceptable to chew on. Now, we'll talk more about how to do this with other unacceptable behaviors in just a minute, so keep watching. Now let's move on to step 2. And step number 2 is reward good behavior. Now this is where a lot of people go wrong. They see their dog doing something unacceptable and then they yell, scold, or punish their dog. And yet, when they see their dog doing something good, they do nothing. And this is the complete opposite of what you should be doing. If you want your dog to choose acceptable behaviors, then you have to reward him when you see your dog doing good things. When you do this, not only will your dog start to choose acceptable behaviors on his own, but you'll be able to eliminate about 90% of problem behaviors before they ever start. So the next time you see your dog doing something good, whether it's laying calmly in the corner or chewing on an acceptable toy, reward him for it. And your dog will start to choose these behaviors on his own. More about the exact way you should reward your dog in just a minute. And that leads us to step number 3. And step number 3 is make your dog earn his reward. Listen, the simple truth is the more training you do with your dog, the better behaved he'll be. And the easiest way to a well-behaved dog is to make your dog earn his reward. Here's how you do it. You start with a simple command like sit or lay down, and then reward him for his compliance. And then you slowly work your way up to more and more difficult commands. When you do this, your dog learns that he has to perform in order to be rewarded. And that makes your dog want to work with you and listen to your commands, which is a very important part of owning a dog, because no one wants a dog that won't listen, and in some cases, having a dog that won't listen can be downright dangerous. Now what I've just shown you is an overview of the exact same dog training principle I've used to crate train, potty train, and obedience train all of my dogs. So now that you know what to do, I'd like to show you exactly how to do it. I've created a brand new training exclusively on how to use the strategic reward system with your puppy. And you can use it to crate train your puppy without using any force whatsoever, so you never have to worry about harming your puppy. You can use it to potty train your puppy, so you can eliminate accidents from your home very quickly. And you can use it to teach your puppy basic obedience skills, so you can have the well-behaved puppy you really desire. And you can have it today for free by simply entering your email in the box below. Now I want you to think about this. The first dog I ever owned was way back in 2002, and it seems like forever ago. And I made so many mistakes and blunders with that dog that at one point I actually considered returning him to the shelter because things had got so bad. He constantly tore up my house, he made messes everywhere, and he cried endlessly whenever I put him in the crate. And at one point, I had to make a decision to either figure out this whole dog training thing or get rid of the dog. And figure it out I did. And that's how the whole strategic reward system was born. And the funny part is, after about a week of following these principles, the difference was night and day. It was like owning a completely different dog. He was listening to my commands. He was going outside to potty. And I finally felt like I had the companion I really wanted. And now, I've gone on to train many more dogs and help thousands of others train their dogs, all by following the exact same principles in the strategic reward system. And now I'm going to give it to you. But it gets better. Because this is a free offer, there is absolutely zero risk involved. You have absolutely nothing to lose by trying this training for yourself. But here's the catch. Yes, this offer is free, and there are absolutely zero strings attached. However, this offer will not last. I could easily sell this training for $47 or more, and I plan on doing so in the near future. So if you want to take advantage of this free offer, you must act now. Enter your email below right now. Listen, your dog probably isn't going to start acting better without proper training, and this will likely be your only chance to take advantage of this free offer. So enter your email below and get started today.